going on? So today I wanted to talk about, tonight I wanted to talk about the moon, and this will be the first episode of the series called In-Depth Analysis. And then I'll pick a topic, and then that'll be the topic, or you guys pick a topic, and then that will be the topic. The moon and astrology. The moon is basically your mind. It's how you think. It is how you emotionally respond. It is how you take in emotions. It is it represents your mother. It represents the nurturing in your life and how you nurture. You know how you got the parent and then you have the kid. The moon is both. It's both of those really. And I wanted to talk about why is the moon way far more important than the sun is in astrology, where it's sitting, what house it's sitting in, and the sign is sitting in its aspects. The sun, I'm not saying the sun is not, it's very important. It's your soul. It's a representation of your father. Authority in your life, or the authority you have, and you illuminate, because the sun is illumination. It is conscious self-awareness, whereas the moon is subconscious in nature, because something has to happen for you to have an emotional response. You don't just, you know what I mean? So, and why is the moon far more important than the sun is? Because the moon is it's something that is relative. It can be it's more of hold on, stop. All right, so what is it? Evening. Good evening, everybody. First of all, so tonight, we'll be talking about the moon, basically, and this will be the first episode of this new series called In-Depth Analysis, where we dig and dig and dig and bring out everything, and then I'll bring it to you guys. So, that'll be on Wednesdays. I haven't figured out the time yet, but I'll probably put it on Facebook or put it somewhere in this video. Come on, move. How we gonna move now? What is the moon? First of all, this my hooker girl. Her name's Cinnamon.
Ah! Yeah, Mama. You wanna say shit? Okay.
Okay, but anyway, so the moon is it's our thinking. It's our thoughts. What we think about, how we think. The moon can be used as, you can from the placement of the moon, you ever heard of the law of attraction? Well, if the moon is our thoughts and our thinking, what we think about, how we think, and everything like this can be tied into the law of attraction. And like, say for instance, I had moon in, I don't know, Capricorn. I said the moon is our thinking and our thoughts. What is Capricorn? Capricorn is the taskmaster. Capricorns are disciplined. Capricorn is authority. Capricorn is hardworking. Capricorn is limitations, restrictions. It frustrates you, but it shows you reality. And people look at Capricorns a lot of times as pessimists because reality ain't always a good picture. It ain't always a pretty picture. And people who like me, like more optimistic people, like kind of, no matter what, they got a smile on their face, or they're always thinking about something, the greener side. Capricorns, whether that side is green or black or whatever, they say, okay, this is reality, this is what's going on. This is what it really is. And so, let's say, for instance, if you had Moon in Capricorn, your thoughts would be more of serious ones. Oh, and another thing, Capricorns are, they're status oriented. They're always trying to climb. You know how goat, Moon, or Capricorn's ruling animal is the goat. Goats, they will not put their foot out and reach and try and climb something until they know they are not going to fall if they take this step. That's what a Capricorn is. They take a step and move forward in something they know it's going down to get you to the top of the mountain. Every step. They plan it out. Okay, where am I going to step? Where am I going to put my foot? How am I going to angle it? Everything. Think about all of these things. So if you had Moon in Capricorn, your thoughts are always calculated. You're always thinking about climbing. There's always in your mind, there's always something you are battling with. There's always something that it can be looked at as a limitation, but it's just another step that you have to take. You take this step, the limitation is gone. That's why I like Capricorns. They always, whether the picture is pretty, they always show you what's really going on. They always tell you what's really, or like if it's good or bad. And so the Moon does not do bad at all with this right here in that aspect in Capricorn. So back to what I was saying. So if you have Moon in Capricorn, your thoughts are calculated. They're thinking step by step. They're calculating everything. Okay, if I do this step, what's going to happen? Is it going to move me higher up? That's what they're always thinking. Capricorns can plan. They are a great planet, especially with the Moon. Somebody with Moon in Capricorn can plan out anything, and you'll see that, okay, after this step, okay, we took this step, now it's this step. Now we got to take this step, now we go to this step. The next step, all the way to they're always thinking to get to the top. And they will get there because they're so calculated, they're so methodical and practical. Practice makes perfect. They do things that have been tried and true, that have been practiced, and they see real results. They need real results, but they're not going to do it. They need to know that if they do this thing, that it's going to, it will land. It's what you're always thinking about. This is how you thinking. And they get through their minds, they get there. And the Moon is also your mother. Now say for instance you had, okay, let's stay with Moon and Capricorn. Your mother was probably really strict on you, really hard on you. But she was showing you something that was real. If she was hard on you, she was putting limitations on you. No, you can't do that, not till you finish this. She was showing you how to climb the mountain. And and you stuck with that. That stuck with you. That was your mother's nurturing. That's another. But they're not going to do it. They need to know that if they do this thing, that it's going to, it will land. It's what you always thinking about. This is how you thinking. And they get through their minds. They get there. And the moon is also your mother. Now, say for instance, you had let's stay with Moon and Capricorn. Your mother was probably really strict on you, really hard on you. But she was showing you something that was real. If she was hard on you, she was putting limitations on you. No, you can't do that, not till you finish this. She was showing you how to climb the mountain. And and you stuck with that. That stuck with you. That was your mother's nurturing. That's another thing what the moon is. It's not just your mother, it's how she nurtured you. And this is how she nurtured you. She gave you boundaries. Another Capricorn thing. She gave you limitations, she gave you restrictions. But when you got through those, you were rewarded. And your mind is built around it, all the way up until you're grown. So that's why it's so easy for these people to succeed. And they make it look like a walk in the park. They know what's real. They know how to get anywhere, accomplish, and they are very, in their minds, they are thinking success. And how can I get there in the most basic way, the most practiced way, the most practical way? The moon is also your emotions. And it's you have to have a thought before you have an emotion. You don't just have emotions. These people have they're very, it's like when they actually succeed and they actually get there, they're just chilling. It's not a huge thing to them. They're still reserved. They're still reserved. But because they're always thinking success, so when they actually get there, it's like, oh, okay, where's the next mountain? And their emotions, they can put themselves, even if they're going through restrictions, if they're going through an obstruction or a limitation, something that they have to get through, they know, they feel they still feel like they will succeed, like they will get there. And so that's how I tie the moon, thinking, and emotions together. Because a lot of people are saying, a lot of astrologers and a lot of websites, they'll just say the moon is emotions, is your emotions. Let's break down how. Where does these emotions come from? What exactly do you mean? They come from your thoughts. You have to have a thought, then the emotion. You stay with that thought and that emotion. It creates a state of being. You stay with that state of being. It creates a personality. The personality creates your personal reality. And that's why the moon is so important. The sun is very important. It is. It's very important. I'm not saying that the sun is like, just forget about the sun. That's not what I'm saying. Because you do that, you won't know who the hell you are. The sun is your soul. It's something you. That's why the sun is a representative. It's your father. It's authority in your life. It's how you, and that's why the moon is so important. The sun is very important. It is. It's very important. I'm not saying that the sun is like, just forget about the sun. That's not what I'm saying. House. The moon in the houses. That is what you're always thinking about. That's where your thoughts always go. Like if you had moon in the 6th house. What is the 6th house? We already know the moon. Let's just stay with thoughts and thinking. That's where I really wanted to lock in on. And we'll get to the other things. But the moon are thoughts. What are we thinking? And let's just keep in mind the law of attraction thing. That's why the moon is so damn important. Because it, by sign, by house, by placement, by aspects and everything, it shows you the reality you're pulling in. The moon is, most of us identify with our thoughts. All of them. Or most of them, a good amount of them. And our emotions, even if they're not ours. But if you can become conscious of your thoughts, you can decide if you want to identify with those things or not. That happens through like meditation and stuff like that. Observing, making yourself an observer of yourself, becoming just conscious and just the moon by itself. You can't be your soul. You can't jump. I mean, you can't jump into your soul. Soul is something that will always be there. Something you can't. It's not tangible. You can't see it. We know it's always there though. But you can become pure thoughts, just thinking, pure conscience. And the placement of the moon, what you're always thinking about, what you're always pulling in. The example I had was moon in the 6th house. The 6th house is obstructions. It's things that's blocking your way, like competition, co-workers, diseases. You have to fight and beat all these things. I love the 6th house, but it's pets, it's small pets, like it's because it represents your routine. You have to take care of pet. You have to do the same. You have to walk it every day. You have to let it go use it. You have to feed it every day. That's a routine. Day-to-day routines, everyday routines in 6th house. It is your health. Your health more in a how you take care of yourself. Whether you take care of yourself or not, whether you have diseases or not. And like Aquarius, for instance, if it was in the 6th house, it's predicting unpredictability. Know something, like for instance, if you have Aquarius here, or you have like different things that you do every day, and then the next day is something completely different. The next day is something completely different. That's still a routine. Routine of being unpredictable. So that's the sixth house. So with the moon in the sixth house, that means your thoughts are always on your competition. How can I beat my competition? Why does competition keep coming up? Because you're always thinking about these things. Obstructions. Why do obstructions keep coming? I'm trying to bring something to you that you probably didn't know. Why do I keep going through this? Why do I keep going through this same thing? For instance, you're always thinking, like if you had the moon in the sixth house, you're always thinking about your health and service to others too. That's a big thing in the sixth house. You're always thinking about how can I help somebody, be it in your home, at work. You're always thinking about how can I be of service to these people or to this job or anybody. Because your mind is, your thoughts are always, you're always thinking about that. And that's why these things keep coming, because you're pulling them in by the thoughts. Then you emote this, how can I help you kind of aura. You notice with people with this, always helping people, whether they want to or not, because they're always thinking. It's just an example. Basically, wherever the moon is, whatever house the moon is in, you're pulling those experiences in through your thoughts and your emotions. When the moon aspects a house, let's say, just for example, using the first house, it throws its experience, its light onto a house, onto that house. It's kind of looking like, how, let's say for instance, if I had like Cyclops, and he's got, those that's what the moon, that's what a moon, when the moon aspects a house, that's what it does. It throws that red light, that same energy, boom, to that house, and affects everything in that house. Another example for the moon aspect in the first house. It affects it. If the moon is aspect in the first house, then your thoughts are affecting how you carry yourself. If you always having positive thoughts, that's going to become your personality. You are going to react and be those thoughts. So, I hope, I know I was, talking a lot, and there's probably more to cover. I hope I wanted to just get everything that I could and bring it to you. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully it helps you understand yourself better and life better. And next episode on in-depth analysis, I'll make an announcement on Facebook. I'll put it on Facebook. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.